Good evening, everyone. Maazi Ezeoke here once more speaking to us. How are we doing today? This is 2030. That is 8:30 now here in Nigeria. I believe this is 8:30 here in Nigeria. So how are we doing? I hope everyone is doing all right. So this evening, I want to have this conversation with us. As it says here, I believe we have been reading the news and we know what is happening. I mean, obviously, we have the idea of what is happening. So in my usual hangout with us, maybe we'll get a time where you can ring in and the telephone number will be displayed at the appropriate time if we have time, or I could go ahead and do just the normal analysis that I want to do this evening. So Friday Hangout with Maazi Ezeoke. And the conversation this evening is the call for Buhari to resign. Now, and also that Maina has, or rather, Maina was captured in Niger Republic and that he has been extradited to Nigeria. Now, you think that is not enough? We are still going back and forth here in this country that the youth came out to protest, and in their protest, they were promised that the government was going to listen to their 5 points. Suddenly, what the government now says is that apparently their 5 points means absolute nothing. The police has gone to court to stop all the judicial inquiries happening, you know. And there was an outrage yesterday. Everyone basically was outraged. Why would the police do something or something silly in that manner? You know, and as the people, you know, as people were basically trying to understand what had happened, but it appears that the police has also gone back. You know, it's a nation of absurdity. It appears that the police has gone back today to actually amend to say that you know, they no longer are taking that position. Okay, that they are no longer taking that position. But it is, I still find it a little bit absurd, and to say the least, because that is really, really incredible. And these people say incredulous. So now let's do the usual, the way we start. Can we, you know, start by knowing where you are watching me from? So I know we have people watching, especially some of us that are awake now in the in Asia. I know many of you are watching me from Europe, and I'm aware many of you are also watching me from Nigeria here, where we do not have light or power, and where we do not have enough data to watch. And at the same time, I'm aware that many of you are watching me from the United States of America, where I have many of you fans there. So it would be nice to know where you are watching me from, just to give you the shout out. Now, let me, I will do my analysis today by clips. Now, I want to start with the first one. Why are people calling for Buhari to resign? You know, when the election was ongoing in 2015, 2014, 2015, Buhari made a lot of promises, some of them coherent, some of them incoherent. You know, he was telling us that he was a soldier. Remember the Chatham House, where he went to in London, and he made the following speech. Just have a listen and see what he said as a...
I, as a retired general and a former head of state, have always known about our soldiers. They are capable, they are well-trained, patriotic, brave, and always ready to do their duty in the service of our country. But in the matter of this insurgency, our soldiers have neither received the necessary support nor the required incentives to tackle this problem. The government has also failed in any effort towards a multidimensional response to this problem, leading to a situation in which we have now become dependent on our neighbors to come to our rescue. Let me assure you that if I am elected president, the world will have no cause to worry about Nigeria as it has so recently. That Nigeria will return to its stabilizing role in West Africa. We will pay special attention to the welfare of our soldiers in and out of service. We will give them adequate and modern arms and ammunition to work with. We will improve intelligence gathering and border patrols to choke Boko Haram's financial and equipment channels. We will be tough on terrorism and tough on its root causes by initiating a comprehensive economic development plan, promoting infrastructural development, job creation, agriculture and industry in the affected areas. We will always act on time and not allow problems to irresponsibly fester. And I, Muhammad Buhari, will always lead from the front.
So, you see, sorry, I have to laugh because I'm almost carried away. Now here he is the president promising you that he was going to lead from the front. He was going to lead from, in 2014-15, when he was making all this statement, people were carried away. Look, this was in London and people were clapping. People thought, oh, at last someone with gray matters in between the skull, someone who was a soldier, someone who understands how the military hierarchy worked, someone who understands the military intelligence, someone who understood how things were run. But we never knew that we had someone who was utterly clueless. Many people were criticizing Jonathan, saying, oh, Jonathan was clueless, Jonathan was this, Jonathan was the other one, Jonathan wasn't a military man. But hey, he was given the opportunity to come and do the wonders that he has been running around saying that he will do. And this is the insecurity we have now, is what we have. How can a man keep his service chiefs that have abysmally failed the nation? Lives are almost worthless. You wake up one day, all you can argue is, oh, not 43 people were killed. Oh, it's not up to 110, as if one person less makes it any different. Even if you accept that 143 people were killed, 4,300, 110, 120, it does not make any difference. These are lives that were lost needlessly. This is a man basically supervising an army that have, where their power is within the civilian space, as the case in Munshin, as the case in Lekki, as in the case in Aba, as in the case in Omai, as in the case in Mbo, or as the case may be in Obibo. That's where their powers are. If I'm just making note of what he just said, he said he's going to support and he's going to, support the military and he's going to incentivize them. He was going to look into a multidimensional response to the issues of Boko Haram, that he is going to make it for them not to be dependent on our neighbors, and that he was going to look inwards, that we shouldn't be dependent on our neighbors. Yet our neighbors, small, tertiary child, will come into the Nigerian territory, giant of Africa, walking on a mosquito limb, come into your nation and overrun the so-called Boko Haram, push them away. Then a space they've cleared, your own army cannot even hold that. Under your own command, who retired as a general. That's an utter shame. I don't know how else to put it. And when people say that he should resign, I don't even know what he's waiting for. How can you have people who have served, who are retired and tired, yet you cannot let them go and rest? Use someone else. Give them 6 months. If you do not achieve results within 6 months, then you're also fired. You're not keeping them because they are doing they are doing any service that is relevant and useful. Sometimes I don't understand this man. That's the same way. Remember when people were killed in Benue? This man, Buhari, was asked in Benue, where is the IGP? That is the former Inspector General of Police. What did he say? He said the Inspector General is losing weight. That means he's working. I mean, what an arrant nonsense. You think I'm kidding you? Watch it.
It is a different approach in the fight against insecurity, especially kidnapping, which is a big issue now, sir.
No, I have just seen the IG. I think he is still losing weight. So I think he is working very hard.
What's the correlation? The Inspector General is losing weight. That's that. So that means Maazi is working very hard because Maazi is losing weight. Maazi still needs to lose 2 kilos in order to come to the normal place I wish to be. So I'm working very hard. That's what I mean. It's just utter rubbish. You know, how can someone speak this way? Look, very, very incoherent. Look at when he was even campaigning. These were the things he was saying.
The government has failed to do its principal duty of protecting life or property of all beings inside its territory in Nigeria. And what happened, as I said, in Ekiti and Oshun, the number of military, police, other law enforcement agencies deployed to rig elections in favor of the ruling party, if those were effectively used in the Northeast, the end of the insurgency could have been met.
Now you have
and what I'm saying, the bottom line is that the government is not serious about curbing the insurgency in the Northeast.
The government is not serious in stopping and curbing the insurgency in the Northeast. That was the words of Buhari when someone else was driving the car. These were his words. The government is not interested. The government is not serious. Question that everyone must now ask: is his government interested in resolving and stopping the killing, wanton destruction happening in Nigeria, that people can no longer go to the farm in the north, in this, north central, in the eastern part of Nigeria? Neither can people go to the farm in the west. The next thing that is going to hit Nigeria is going to be food crisis. Because if you struggled to go to the farm to plant your food, you now struggle as well to even go and harvest the little that you have done. That is disaster waiting to happen. And that is already a disaster happening. And that is Mr. President. But luckily, people are now, the Northerners themselves, not Southerners, the Northerners, are suddenly beginning to wake up to call for him to resign. Now, let's listen to this professor, because what I want to do here is to do a collation of what people are saying, because it's good. If it's me, people will say, oh, Maazi, it doesn't concern you, you're from the Southeast. Yeah, fine. Now his own people, the people that are feeling it most, they are now the ones talking. It's no longer about me. But even if I may ask, Obadiah once quoted late General Sani Abacha, saying that General Sani Abacha said, any insurgency that lasted for more than 24 hours, that means the government is aware. The question is, that means the government, this current government, is aware. The question, therefore, that arises from that comment from Obadiah Melafia will now be, how are we sure that the government is not aware? Let's see what Obadiah has.
And people don't give him his due. Do you think he would have tolerated such nonsense? General Abacha famously said that if an insurgency lasts for more than 2 days, the government knows. That is the real. and the truth. And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. One or two who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They're already in the
question I ask in all these things. Why is the man who applied for this job and said these things that he was going to protect this nation, why is he now sleeping on duty? Why is he now doing as if he's not aware? The only thing you can hear them say, the president is not aware. The president, he doesn't know. Why is it happening? Why? Look at the professor now asking him, this is no longer coming from me to say president must resign or should resign for the failure of securing lives and property, not in his own state. I doubt anyone expecting anything to happen from him. 6 years, he's gone. 6 years, he's not able to protect you in the next 6 years. You better look for a way to protect yourself, because he's a professor now from the north is now telling you that the president has failed and has failed abysmally, and that the best thing he must do is to resign.
They serve at his pleasure. If they are not doing well, tells them, General, thank you for your service to the nation. It's time I make changes. 6 years is too long. They must be exhausted. They don't sleep. I know that. They don't sleep. It's not easy. So yes, I'm not talking blaming or anybody. Is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, that we citizens will hold responsible and God Almighty will hold responsible. End of story. I'm not going to talk about his media advisor that talked. I'm not going to dignify that. I'm not.
Well, the buck stops with the president. You also have in your recommendations a role for the citizenry. You said that citizens must speak up. How would you assess the response of the citizenry? Do you feel that people are turning a blind eye, or are you gratified by the outrage being expressed?
You see, if you look at culturally the way the regions respond and do their politics, we're all different. The Southwest is loud and noisy and agitating, and we saw that in NSAS. The South is also. The North is quiet and silent. But I have told all Nigerians, and even the leadership in this country that are much older than me, they know that our silence should not be taken for granted and should not be taken for a sign of weakness. And that silence may be the silence before the storm. People have given a lot of leeway to this president, hoping things will change. Hoping things will change. And they have been held by their leaders, their traditional rulers, and their clerics, and their parents. Things will get better. Let's keep praying. We have been praying. Things have gotten better. And our silence should not be taken for granted. And they know that. They should listen to us. We are angry. Everybody is in this land.
Okay, Prof.
We are angry.
So you see, he's clearly saying it that the North is angry. He's saying that the North is angry, that the North will soon wake up. That when they wake up, it's not going to be palatable. Ha. And when I hear such, I laugh in Swahili. When they wake up, well, we're waiting for you to wake up, because, the madness must stop. The lives that are being lost is the life of your people. The madness must stop. There is no two ways about that, people. The madness must stop. Now, it's how do I put it? It's really, really very, very good to see that there are people also within the northern Nigeria that's actually able and willing to speak truth to power. Yet these are people, when and the NSAS started, they quickly said, oh, the South wanted to do away with the president. So if the South wanted to do away with the president, didn't thank the South is doing away with doing with the president on the premise of incompetence, not because the president is a northerner. No, it's just that the president is incompetent. Like Senator Abaribe once said, that his people says he should come to Abuja and tell them that the president is incompetent. There is no two ways about it. The president is incompetent. And that's, sorry. But in that, now, watch this young man, I would say this man on Channels TV as well. He is one of those that quickly, during the answer, said that the South is protesting against Buhari. Watch him and see what he now says, because the chicken is
let's begin the conversation with Dr. Baba Ahmed on the position of the Northern Elders Forum. You are the spokesperson of the Elders Forum in the North. You're asking the president to resign. Have things come to that point?
Certainly. The facts on the ground support what we say. The president swore on the Quran as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to secure the lives of citizens. He has failed to do so over and over and over again. This is his fifth, sixth year in office. The situation under him is getting worse, and there is no indication that it is likely to improve. So what else is there? What else is left other than to ask him that if there is honor, what in democratic countries, in civilized countries, what leaders who fail to protect citizens, particularly at the scale and the level at which our people are dying, is to resign. Clearly, he has failed in the number one responsibility of a leader, which is to protect citizens. So yes, things have gone, they are worse than this, but we've taken our time to assess the situation. We didn't want to rush to judgment. We wanted to give him a chance. Like everybody says, leadership is very difficult. He's leaving, he has a very challenging responsibility, but 4, 5, 6, 7 years, this same president was saying 2 years before he assumed responsibility, he was saying to Jonathan to step aside and give him all others responsibility to run the country. So he's had a lot of time to study the situation. He's a general. He's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He's a military man, so he doesn't have an excuse about not knowing how to fight wars. He put people in charge. They're still in charge. We're losing this war. More internal security challenges are becoming manifest. More people are dying. Every single day, people die in this country. Life, truly, as we said in our statement, life has lost a value. One individual was kidnapped. One American citizen was kidnapped somewhere in Niger or northern Nigeria. The U.S. sent military to Niger Republic, to Nigeria, with the consent of our Nigerian troops. Foreign Americans came into our country and rescued the person. What do you say to the Nigerian president under whom our people are dying? How do you explain what happened in Borno? A failure of security, a failure of leadership? What else do you say other than to say to Mr. President, clearly, you can't secure the lives of Nigerians. And if there is honor, if there is respect for public opinion, really there is no reason why he should continue.
There is respect. If there is honor, there is no reason. If there is respect, if there is honor, there is no reason for him to continue in office. Those are the words of Hakim Baba Ahmed. If there is honor, if there is respect on the side of the president, there is no reason for him to continue in office. Not me. DSS, I didn't say so. Hakim Baba Ahmed said so. I just repeated what he said. Freaking hell. That's simple. There is no two ways about it. Catastrophic failure. Catastrophic failure. Let me remind you again what he said. When asked what he is going to do to keep you...
I would like to use a different approach in the fight against insecurity, especially kidnapping, which is a big issue now, sir.
No, I have just seen the IG. I think he is still losing weight. So I think he is working very hard.
Then I ask myself, does he not understand the question that was asked? What is the correlation between change of strategy and an IG losing weight? You pause for a moment and you ask yourself, wait a minute, what's happening? Go back again, look at what Hakim said, Hakim Baba Ahmed, then you go back to what he said in Chatham House. Again,
I, as a retired general and a former head of state, have always known about our soldiers. They are capable, they are well-trained, patriotic, brave, and always ready to do their duty in the service of our country.
So he knows all these things, that these men are brave, they were well-trained, but again, is it General Lukoye or whatever it's called, that was court-martialed for saying that they do not have enough ammunition for the counterinsurgency. He was court-martialed. But that is the type of thing, when you see them, you ask yourself, I mean, what manner of nation does that? Who does something like that? Because it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. And in all this, in all the madness, there is a, because at some point, I thought it's either the man is cognitively no longer, able to understand some of the things that is happening around him, or those around him are actually lying to him, that they do not tell him how bad things has gone, how the things in Nigeria have degenerated. But succor came my way 2 days ago when I saw a video from Pastor Tunde Bakare, the one that ran as his VP in 2011, where, was it? Yeah, 2011, where he clearly said the things he has taken to Buhari, the things he has asked him, the conditions he gave him. If I'm going to run the presidency with you, this is where we are going to do, how we are going to restructure Nigeria. If you think you don't know what restructuring is, remember one of the times I had Tanko Yakasai here. Tanko Yakasai was telling us that he does not understand what we mean by restructuring, because for many of us, restructuring is the only thing that can save Nigeria. Or, you just basically, we just divide it. Everybody go their own way. But restructuring is really the last ditch before you get to that point, right? Before you get to the total dismemberment, because you can't run away from it. It is a clear case of insanity to be doing one thing all the time and be expecting different outcomes. But, like I said before, succor came when I listened to what Tunde Bakare was saying. It began to dawn on me that, oh, actually, there were men who probably haven't gone to the press. They've been going to the president, making presentations for him, because Tunde Bakare made it clear, if you say you don't know what restructuring is, we have the 2014 Confab report. If you don't know what restructuring is, you have the Aburi Accord, you have the 1963 Constitution, you have even the APC restructuring committee led by the current governor of Kaduna State in the person of Malam Nasir El-Rufai. In all this, the president still fenges ignorance. Let's listen to Pastor Tunde Bakare, Dr. Pastor Tunde Bakare.
As you have said, and be gone, and bless me also. And the Egyptians urged the people that they might send them out of the land in haste, for they said, they, not we, they shall all be dead. I read my Bible accurately. People of God, this same phenomenon is about to happen in Nigeria. God is about to deliver our nation from the grip of the terrible. No one will beg those holding us down to let us go. They will be the ones urging us to come to the round table of brotherhood so as to put heads together and brainstorm for the restructuring of our governmental structure along through federal principle in the mighty name of Jesus. Mark my words, just like in the days of Gorbachev, when the Soviet Union dissolved into many sovereign states without any bloodshed, so with the Federal Republic of Nigeria restructure into strong geo-economic, strong geopolitical zones, and a strong center without bloodshed, in the mighty name of Jesus. And the people said, amen. The time is now. Say that to your neighbor, the time is now. Say it again, the time is now. A little while ago, I saw a rainbow-covered Nigeria with the word "Reset" written across the land. And I took that sticker we did here, I put it in the hand of President Muhammadu Buhari at the villa. I said, this is the vision of the new Nigeria that I've seen with the word "Reset." And he looked at it very joyfully that day and said, is this my copy? I said, I brought it for you so that be a witness that you'll be able to say you were told. I pray to not stand against you. Because it's a moving train. You stand in front of it, it will crush you. Nigeria will be restructured. And we are not going to beg anybody for it. It's going to happen. In 2015 till last week, Thursday, not this, the previous week, because I stayed in Lagos, I'd consistently maintained this before the president, that this is the future, this is the way to go. And I asked him a pointed question 2 Thursdays ago. Said, what's your position on the restructuring of Nigeria? And he said, well, there are too many voices, we don't know what they are saying. I said, who are they? And the first month of your administration, I brought you a compendium of what I call the legacy of Muhammadu Buhari, containing the restructuring of Nigeria along through federal system that we agreed upon when I chose to run with you in 2011. I brought it a second time to you. Who are they? So if you don't understand what restructuring is, just look back and see the ground-up pyramids in the north. That was what financed Ahmadu Bello University and all the great things that Ahmadu Bello did in his days. If you don't understand restructuring, consider the golden era of the region and look at what Cocoa did. Free education, first television, first stadium, and all the high-rise and everything that Awo did came from Cocoa from the West. If you don't understand restructuring, look back in the East and see what they did with palm oil and with coal from Udi Hills, including the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. And anyone who does not understand restructuring, go back to the 1963 Republican Constitution and understand the evolution of power. And if you don't understand, take the document in your hand that Nasir El-Rufai committee put together and the 12 things that they stated. If you don't do it fast, you have yourself to blame. There's going to be restructuring.
Like I said, you've heard him loud and clear, very loud and clear. Now, at least this is a public confirmation to me that the president has not been, as you have said, very honest with Nigeria. Sorry, this is a very, this is a confirmation for me that the president has not been honest with Nigerians. Because when the president says, well, a lot of people are talking about the restructuring, my argument has always been, okay, Mr. President, many of us and many people are saying restructure Nigeria so that we go to the way it is in the United Kingdom. These are 4 nations in one, right? You have the Welsh, you have the Scottish, you have the England, and you have the Northern Ireland. 4 nations in one. When they play European Cup of Nations, you see them. I want to see the same thing happen in Nigeria, where the Arewa will play against the Oduduwas or the Old Eastern, however it is. But when we want to qualify for the African nation, they should have their own regional parliament. Let us go back to 1963 Republican Constitution. A Buhari Accord was something also there, but you cannot come out and tell us you do not understand what the restructuring is. Now, here is a man who ran with you saying he had a companion for you, saying this contains all we have been discussing, even when you begged me to be your running mate. This is leaking the conversation he has been having with you, and you still, as the president of a nation, still telling Nigerians you don't know what restructuring is. They say those who make, peaceful, whatever, not palatable, they should be ready to get whatever they want in a forceful manner, because you are driving it. Everybody is shouting. Even the Northerners are shouting. They are dying. We've seen what happened in Bono. We've seen what is happening every single where people are losing their lives. There is no security anywhere. Even now, like I said before, you can see it clearly where people are now. It's something. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, honestly. We are talking about it, Here we are, a nation where the youth came out to protest. You tell us, oh, you are a father, you want to be father to all. Suddenly, in the same nation, the police will come and make statement that they won't allow any type of EndSARS protest again. And you think it's a joke. Before you even say Jack Robinson, suddenly they would go to court to stop all the judicial inquiries in the in all the states in the federation where they are taking place. Yesterday, many of us took onto their Twitter account and started saying that this is anarchy. You are requesting for anarchy. What did they do? Now, what they have said is that Nigerian police had applied to withdraw the suit it filed to stop various panels probing allegations of rights abuses and other acts of impunity. So that means the 5 points the youth gave to you amounted to nothing. If you ever had the intention, if not that many of us started attacking it head on, what you would have done is to allow this to stand. Then I ask, where is the sincerity? Where is the sincerity? All we now hear is IG is it's funny, but it's actually insanity. People are asking you, what is the strategy to fight insurgency? All we can hear is that the Inspector General of Police is working very hard, that he is losing weight. And you think it's a joke?
Are we likely to use a different approach in the fight against insecurity, especially kidnapping, which is a big issue now, sir?
No, I have just seen the IG. I think he is still losing weight, so I think he is working very hard.
What manner of this? I have played this video many times, but sometimes I want to cry, sometimes it cracks me up. I just want to laugh because it doesn't make sense. Oh, IG is working because he's losing weight. I mean, come on, yeah, bravo, you've done well. That's what we should be doing. And here we are, people are wondering, why are we actually building the National Assembly of Nigeria debating to build roads into Niger Republic? We are here. They've built refinery in Niger Republic. We are here. We are importing refined product from Niger Republic. Yet you have 2 refineries in River State. You have Kaduna. None of the ones you have, they are not working. Yet we have someone who is a minister of petroleum. I mean, times you can see incompetence and cluelessness smell like rotten egg. You can feel it. You can touch it. It's all over the place. I jokingly was asking somebody, I said, I have never seen in all my life the most incompetent minister of petroleum that we have, because there is no roadmap. Somebody says, yeah, then let's ask the Minister of Petroleum to resign. And yes, Minister of Petroleum should resign because Minister of Petroleum is incompetent. Minister of Petroleum is clueless. He's been there for 6 years and there is no direction. Minister of Petroleum, my foot. I mean, it's absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. There is no two ways to say that. Come on. Come on. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Now you talk about Maina, Abu Rashid, Maina. I ask myself, what is the connection with Niger? Every small thing, when we build road, is Niger. When we do this, is Niger. When we buy petrol, refined product, it's a shame. You know, the fact alone, makes you sick. People, do you know what it means? You're a farmer. You have hectares of land. You farm your yam. Yet, you need to go to Cameroon and buy yam porridge to eat. You're not fit to be a human being because you're a total waste of space if you cannot prepare your own yam, the one you farmed to eat. You have to go to another man's country to go and import your own yam you will eat. But again, Maina captured.
It is the arrival of the former chairman of the defunct Pension Reform Task Team, Mr. Abdulrasheed Maina. He's escorted to a waiting police vehicle upon arrival at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. Before being driven out of the airport, the commissioner in charge of Interpol speaks on the extradition process.
The Interpol is just back from Niamey, Niger Republic, to extradite a fugitive that is wanted by the EFCC. And Mr. Abdulrasheed Abdullahi Maina is brought back to Nigeria. And we are acting under the instruction of the Inspector General of Police, whom the other law enforcement agencies applied to him for the extradition of the fugitive. And we are back, and we have brought him back to Nigeria to face justice.
Having absconded from Nigeria and missing 4 consecutive court sessions, the court had ordered the remand of his surety, Senator Ali Ndume, at the Kuje Correctional Center. He regained his freedom after forfeiting his bail bond. Before being brought back to the country, the trial of Mr. Maina continued in Abuja on Thursday with a prosecution witness, Ruqayya Ibrahim, narrating how Mr. Maina acquired properties in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, United States of America, and a $2 million property in Jabi, Abuja. The witness, who is an EFCC operative, revealed how Mr. Maina paid a cash sum of $2 million to acquire property in Abuja. She also states that 32 documents, hard disks, and flash drives relating to properties linked to Mr. Maina and his family, and details of some of his investments in Dubai and in the United States were recovered from him. The witness also disclosed that investigations prove that another company owned by Maina, Kangolo Dynamic, does no business, but that the defendant created a bank account for it in which his name did not appear anywhere on the account document, even though he was in control of all the deposits in it. In the course of the trial, the lawyer to Mr. Maina's company, Mr. Adeola Adedikbe, withdrew from the case. With further revelations from the witness, the court adjourned further trial to December the 4th, 2020.
You see, the lawyer apparently has, his defendant lawyer apparently has seen the direction the whole thing is going, and he's just bailed it. But like I said before, it keeps bugging the mind. Now, this is a man, if he just had it now, buying a house in Abuja, $2 million. $2 million. He has nothing productive he does or he's doing, but he's spending money. Now, think about these Nigerians. They want to bring, they will be quick to tell you that Chinese, does not allow social media. But they will not be quick to tell you what Chinese do to their politicians. They won't be quick to tell you what Chinese does to those who have sabotaged their nation in this manner. They won't be quick to tell you how Chinese deals with corrupt people. They won't. Why would they? Why would they? Because they are in union. They just want to maintain their status quo. They want to maintain their status quo because they do not have your interest at heart. In no way, no way, no way, no way, they do not have their interest, your interest at heart. That's why you see them doing what they do. Someone stealing, just stole that amount of money from a poor freaking nation. See, forget this illusion that Nigeria is a rich nation. Nigeria is a very, very poor nation. But even in our poverty, even in the poverty that Nigeria finds itself, the greatest tragedy is that the little that they have, they can't even manage it. Only just a selected few will come together, steal it, and everybody go away. Isn't it insanity that Bayelsa, with a very small population, with a very small, space, but gets one of the largest chunk in monthly allocation, yet one of the most indebted states in Nigeria? Isn't it ironic that Lagos State, with greater budget, with greater capital inflow than states of like Rwanda, even bigger, yet the other smaller countries in Africa, like Rwanda, like Botswana, they do more and they do better and they are more organized. And here we talk about big giant. Sorry, but I keep saying it. In my estimation, it's nothing than a giant walking on a mosquito limb. Because the level of corruption that is inherent in this country boggles the mind. A human being, one individual, in one sitting, is headed in that report. Someone bought a property, 2 million. There is no known source of income. Only that person is a thief. And we are here discussing. For me, until we get serious and start giving Chinese treatment, because you can't get anywhere. Sometimes I just think, something, the whole madness everywhere, just the whole thing just makes you sick. The whole thing makes you sick. Now, the other time I couldn't play us a video. Now you look at people who are going to hospital. You are sick. You want to go to hospital. You come into a hospital, what they call the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, the LUT. You want to go into the hospital, you will see mothers with babies littered everywhere. Not people who came to the hospital to be treated, no. Mothers who came there and delivered their babies. It feels like something you hear in the 18th century. The only difference is that maybe we have gone back in time and we are able to record these things with our cameras in this century. You think I'm kidding you? Watch.
I'd like to show you the living condition of mothers who have babies, who have neonates in Luth. This is where people sleep. Now they made available a lodge. The lodge is not good enough. The lodge is in terrible and poor state. And as of this morning, mothers were thrown out without prior notice, without anything. So we're going to post this. This is the reason why I want this to go viral as much as possible. Repost, tag anybody you know. It just shows that the common man in Nigeria cannot get good health care. Why then are we spending so much money? Some of us in the past 4 weeks, we spent over ₦1 million on our babies, and then they throw us out without notice. This is what happens. This is Luth. This is the federal government hospital, Luth. This is what it looks like. This is where people sleep. Mothers who just had babies. This is where they sleep. This is the situation. This is the situation. This is the current situation. This is the current situation of this country. A country where we are treated like animals in our own homes. So yes, we're taking the fight to those that matter. When we were fighting for NSAS, we didn't know, obviously a lot of people don't understand. The health system in this country has deteriorated.
Maybe some of us will understand why when they will be sick, how easy is this for them to jet out? Not even a paracetamol that they can buy in Nigeria and take. Yet every year, they budget humongous of money on this health system. How come that we have become this heartless as a people? How come that nothing shocks us anymore? Look at it. Human beings. This is not like a war-ravaged area. This is in the heart of Lagos State. Lagos State that people can say where you have civilization. In the heart of Lagos State, you're seeing this. Imagine what you then see in the hinterlands where there is no camera. I had the misfortune of taking somebody last year to a hospital in my village and nearly fainted. Even the wheelchairs that I donated to that hospital, everything is just everything is kaput. Our wastage, our mentality sometimes, it's not only government, the individuals as well, you and I. Look at how mothers are just people, human beings, not in a refugee camp. But what can be more greater than any refugee camp than what you just saw? These are human beings like you and I, sitting down there. People will come in box and tell me, hey, Maazi, be careful. The government might come after you. And I ask myself, are we serious? Are we idiots? Are we thinking? The government will come after me from exposing and talking about the ills of the society, but you and I cannot come after those in authority that have been stealing this money and keeping us in this level of wretchedness. We can't get angry enough. I look at these things, it bogs my mind. Tomorrow, for some of you that understand Igbo, you watch this. Tomorrow, you're going to have election in Imo State. Just listen to what this APC candidate is saying. Just listen.
For APC. By Saturday night, I will come with my results of this Alambano to your house. And when anything like, and let me tell you, we believe in finishing the job. Yes. We'll go into the grassroots, give them what the language they understand. What they understand is money. Ego beke. We'll give them ego beke. I get our people ego beke, and they will go and vote for us. Nobody can match us. Nobody can defeat us. We are going to vote for APC. Your Excellency, it is your duty to go to the court or wherever to recover the power. I don't care how you do it. We are following you because we believe you have the capacity. So we are voting for APC 100%. Thank you and God bless you. Thank you very much.
Sign of a sick nation. Sign of a sick nation. A politician just mounted the podium in full glare camera, as you just saw. For those of you who do not understand you, he said that tomorrow's election, tomorrow being was 5th, tomorrow's by-election in Imo State, that by tomorrow's evening he will bring the certificate of return, meaning that he has won, to the house of the governor, because the governor was there. That they are going to give the people what they eat, the language they understand, and that this one, I blame, do not blame them, I blame you and I. Now, people, let us talk. The language they understand. They are going to bring money, give to our mothers, give to our brothers, give to our sisters. And with all alacrity, he said it. And they must vote for us. He mentioned this year Alambano. I wish enough people are listening to me in this year Alambano this evening. I wish enough of you are listening to me, that this should spur you to anger. This must spur you to anger and you to ensure that he does not emerge. Because he has insulted you collectively as non-entities, as cucumbers, as carrots, as people who can amount to nothing. That all he does, he just, well, throw you some peanuts that they have taken from you. Because he says he has your formula. Just give you small thing, you go and vote for them. Ise Alamba, no. Ise Alamba, no. You must prove him wrong. Punish them. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know him. I just saw the video on Twitter, this evening, and I felt, Jesus Christ. Our madness is increasing every day. Our madness is multiplying. Our madness is, before, our madness was with short, with boxers. Now the madness has shown skirt and blouse, has now even bought a padded bra, joined it. He's looking for her gele to tie. How come? How can you degrade the people in this? Mbano, Mbano. If you're watching me and you're from Mbano, ensure you do not vote them. This is the height of it. Now they boast that they can give you peanuts and they get your vote. And if you allow them to do that, then shame on you. They are now boasting that they can give you peanuts and you vote them. That's sickness. That's sickness. That's unbelievable sick. Sick. Here, mentally sick. Ah, Jesus. Honestly, I'm short of words. I can't say that enough. I'm short of words. I'm short of words that people will be looking you in the face. Now, I'll play the video again. Pay attention to our mothers. That is the bit. I just asked myself, I can't imagine the way I am now. And this nonsense is happening. I will be there. Do and do what? I wish our mothers can stop attending these fake gatherings. Pay attention. Let me play that video again. Pay attention. When the camera pans to the left, you will see in the barricade where our mothers were clapping. If I can forgive everybody, I say no now. Not in our mother's name.
By Saturday night, I will come with my results of this Alambano to your house. And when anything like, and let me tell you, we believe in finishing the job.
Yes.
We'll go into the grassroots, give them what the language they understand. What they understand is money. Ego back here. We'll give them ego back here. I can our people ego back here, and they will go and vote for us. Nobody can fight us. Nobody can do.
He saw that we will give our people the white man's currency. That is a direct translation. We will give our people the white man's currency, ego beke, and they would vote for us because that is the language they understand. I feel violated. I feel insulted. That somebody can boldly come up and say, I'm going to do this, because obviously you vote for him. I feel violated. I feel insulted. I wish our anger can spur us to the point where the people actually will say, stick that your money in your hole. Stick it. Stick that to your money. And we ensure you do not emerge as the, because how can this person who just boastfully says he's going to pay his way out, how can he work for you? I mean, he's obviously he's not going to work for you. He has no, is your interest. It has nothing to do with him. He's not interested. So he's just basically going to give you maybe 5,000, whatever, and for you to put your votes, and that's all. Then he goes, he doesn't come back. Sorry. That's why you see in Imo State, no road. Because, yeah, you've taken money. Anyway, I'm talking about Imo State as if there is any state in Nigeria that there is no, it's just the nation is a mess. East, west, north, south, everywhere is mess. No east-west road. Kaduna, Abuja road, you try it, they kidnap you. Even Emir, we now see Emirs, everybody's boarding train. The only safe way to travel until Boko Haram probably, or the bandit, probably figures out a way. They will start scaring them. Is it the Ubola for Makodi way to Wokari in Taraba State? Is it that road? The road is a death trap. So, many of us that travel across Nigeria don't think it's a matter of Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway. The whole nation is a mess. North, south, east, west. The whole nation is a mess. PDP were building Lagos Ibadan for so many years under Mr. Fix-It. Anini is dead. Tony Anini, PDP chieftain. Now we have sense. People who told you they never stole. People who told you they have integrity. That's why Obasanjo calls it sanctimonious, bogus integrity. I so much like that words. Bogus integrity. He warned us, do not reinforce failure. Those of you who doesn't understand, who been carried away by nonsensical emotions, you saw where we are. We saw where we are. In the words of the Mr. President, we are where we are. And in the words of Mr. Vice President, no, Mr. Professor Yemi Osibanjo, we are. I'm just trying to laugh, but the last video really caught me because the more I talk about, the more I think about it, the more angry I get. The audacity, yes, that's the word. The audacity to basically look and claim and tell the people this is going to happen and there is nothing you will do. That is cranky, people. That is very cranky. That is very cranky. The audacity to say that this is going to happen. We will give the people, we will speak to them in the language they understand, even translated it in English. We will give them money, ego yibo, the white man currency. That is, bribe them, pay them to vote them. At the eve of an election is holding tomorrow, being 5th. Today is 4th of December. By-election is holding tomorrow. And he's already boasting that by tomorrow evening, he will go with the certificate of return that would have been issued by INEC to the house of the governor to present it to him. Oh! Bill, Dimo. A na-ekwu na ọkụkụ manye ụkwụ na nsị. Ọkụkụ manye ụkwụ na nsị owele ọnụ tinye. And a Supreme Court melalo. This is not happening. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Again, people, on that note, I'll leave us with the final reminder that the nation is in dire crisis, even to the point where a sitting House of Rep member is now begging the service chiefs to do something that his people are dying, that he is. He's not saying somebody said, he said he is paying criminals. He pays them to release people when they are kidnapped within his constituency.
Finally, because I will never have this kind of opportunity, I don't know anytime soon, my last request is to the Chief of Staff to the President. It's about the issue of insecurity, sir. Chief of Staff, sir, we beg you in the name of God. Our people are in misery. Our people are in serious fear. We cannot sleep with our two eyes. I will give you an example. Sorry. So it's very critical and very important. This is very important to northern Nigeria. Please, let me say it. I will never have... If you look at what is happening regarding the issue of kidnapping in northern Nigeria, I am a victim. I was kidnapped too. But one key area that I want to state is, if you look at most of these kidnappers, if I would ask anybody a question here, have you ever had a situation whereby a kidnapper from the bush, from the forest, brought down an airplane? Nobody will say yes. They are mostly using AK-47 because they know that no security, the security apparatus of the state cannot come in, synergize and go into the forest. So it means this is something that can be dealt with within a very short period of time. Please, Chief of Staff, do something. As I'm talking to you today, I have to pay some money for the ransom of my constituents. Thank you very much.
Well, we'd like to thank you very much. And
you had him. In conclusion, he had to pay for ransom for someone to be released. And that's a nation. What beats me silly, what beats me is, for the past 6 years, everybody's been complaining, Buhari, change your service chiefs. Buhari, send your service. We are no longer talking about the incompetency in those managing the security architecture. We're no longer talking about the loopsidedness in the security structure, that it is northernized. But again, it is sheer incompetence that they are not doing enough. Even the president says, yes, I know they are not doing enough, or that their good is not enough. Yet what is it doing? If you can acknowledge that they are good, what they are doing, the effort they put is not good enough, what stops you? Honestly, I am of the belief that if you change the structure, if you change those who are manning the security sector, that by the time you get some people, fresh blood, younger people, you give them target. Let's say you promote some people, get someone, bring in a good dynamics there. Make sure they don't come to security meeting to only speak Fulani, Hausa, or Fufu there. Make sure, security it's something that we got to be taken serious. If we ensure that the 6 geographical zones that we have, that all the service chiefs must come from there, make sure that they do the right thing. There is no way, that's a given. There is no way they won't bring their best. Remember when Ejirika was the chief of army staff? Oh, he was fighting a second Biafran war because he was avenging the death of his people on the way he pursued Boko Haram. I mean, what business have you got to babysit terrorists? You don't need to babysit them. Someone was saying, I think was it Putin or someone was saying, Well, if you want to go and collect your 7 virgins or 77 or whatever number in heaven, my job on earth is to quicken that desire for you to go and meet them there. And that's what you should do as a military personnel. Your job is not to go negotiate. Your job is whatever they're... No, it doesn't, honestly, it's really irrelevant. Whichever reason why they do what they do, your job is to stop them. If not, we wouldn't be having a situation where a presidential spokesperson would be telling the whole world. Now the madness has gone to the market square, because it's no longer like things you can now speak in between. It's just the madness is now full blown. It's gone to the market square. That's why the presidential spokesperson could actually look at the world and tell them, oh, those that went to the farm and lost their lives, they had no military clearance. He added salt to the injury even when he clarified his position. Oh, what I mean is that it is a special territory, that before you go to farms, you should get security so that they can accompany you. And I'm like, are you for real? Isn't that a clear case of catastrophic failure, that you have failed to the point where people can no longer go to the farm? Play this scenario for 1 second. You want to go to your farm and you want these soldiers to escort you. In Nigerian way, just play a scenario. Imagine a conversation with a military man. Just call 112. If you want to go to farm, this is what you're going to do. Or maybe if you want to go to farm, go here and obtain your decision. You go there and they'll tell you there is no paper. There is no paper to write your request. You know what that means as a Nigerian, Abi? The next one, there is no pen to even make your application. Because the person telling you that in his office, he doesn't even have, maybe some of them have typewriters in the year 2020. What I'm saying is the same everywhere. East, west, north, south, everywhere. A total mess. A total mess, no succor and no hope in sight. In my estimation, the only hope is that we must, get back to the point of, we must begin to do the devolution of powers. Power must be devolved to the lower units. The concentration on, or rather the over-concentration of power that we currently see is total chaos. Honestly, I do not bloody care. If I'm being fair, I do not bloody care what happens in Sokoto, or if I want to care what happens in Nasarawa, right? I don't expect you from Nasarawa to care about what happens in Imo State. Let's all locally deal with our own issues. Let policing be local. And that's what we're talking about, as Tunde Bakari said. For those of you who joined me late, if you go back towards the middle, you will see what Tunde Bakari said, how he encouraged the president, even in written and in oral conversation, as to what to do in order for us to begin to get back on track. Hey, someone said that he went to London for ear treatment. Therefore, when we speak, we don't know which ear is malfunctioning. So we don't know from which ear he hears or from which ear is probably plugged. But whatever whatever the case, the challenge here and the truth here is that the whole thing is an utter mess. On that note, people, I think I shared the number before. If anyone wants to make a contribution, I just have maybe 2 more minutes and I will call it a day. And probably I'll take some comments. I have here Mayowa Oladiran. He can because there is something between them that we don't know. Oladiran, I don't know what you're about, but he's telepathic. I wish I could understand. Maybe you guys are talking about something Edwin Ezeoke said that weep for my country. It's not only weeping, people. It's absolute mess. It's not only weeping. It's not only weeping. Honestly, it's absolute mess, because the whole thing gets to a point. I mean, for us to understand the mindset that is being at play here, because sometimes I think from the head to the toe, they do not take the issue of security serious enough. I ask, what is the price for being a Nigerian? Like the professor before that was on Arise TV asked, Americans came to Nigeria through Niger to rescue one American, one. Now tell me, why wouldn't someone be proud to be an American, knowing that if you get into trouble, someone is going to come for you? But here you are, if you get into trouble, no one comes for you. No one, actually. When I say no one, absolutely no one comes for you. Because why? Because you have the misfortune of coming from a reckless nation that cares zilch for its citizens. And in conclusion here, let me remind us once more the words of this professor. Because, again, we must pay attention. He said what the professor said, and it tallies with what I was discussing with another professor within the Southwest, that something is likely to happen within the North very soon. Very soon. It could be imminent, because the clerics, their emirs, their religious leaders, been holding them, the youth, but suddenly with the level of killing, you might wake up one day and they would do something that might surprise everybody, honestly, because probably will take them for granted for too long. But let's, in conclusion here, listen to the professor once more.
They serve at his pleasure. If they are not doing well, tells them, General, thank you for your service to the nation. It's time I make changes. 6 years is too long. They must be exhausted. They don't sleep. I know that. They don't sleep. It's not easy. So yes, I'm not talking blaming or anybody. Is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, that we citizens will hold responsible and God Almighty will hold responsible. End of story. I'm not going to talk about his media advisor that talked. I'm not going to dignify that. I'm not.
While the buck stops with the President, you also have in your recommendations a role for the citizenry. You said that citizens must speak up. How would you assess the response of the citizenry? Do you feel that people are turning a blind eye, or are you gratified by the outrage being expressed?
You see, if you look at culturally the way the regions respond and do their politics, we're all different. The Southwest is loud and noisy and agitated, and we saw that in NSAS. The South is also. The North is quiet and silent. But I have told all Nigerians, and even the leadership in this country that are much older than me, they know that our silence should not be taken for granted and should not be taken for a sign of weakness. And that silence may be the silence before the storm. People have given a lot of leeway to this president, hoping things will change. Hoping things will change. And they have been held by their leaders, their traditional rulers, and their clerics, and their parents. Things will get better. Let's keep praying. We have been praying. Things have gotten better. And our silence should not be taken for granted. And they know that. They should listen to us. We are angry. Everybody is in this land.
Okay, Prof.
We are.
See? We are angry. So this is no longer the people of the Southwest and the Southeast and the South saying that they are angry in Lekki, saying that they are angry in Port Harcourt, in Obibo, in Onitsha, in Enugu. Now the table is quickly turning. The same people who didn't want to be angry but looted more palliative than any other person are getting angry now. I can only support you to be angry. If there is any way, shape, or form I can amplify your anger, I will. Because human life is very sacred. It doesn't matter in the north, in the south, in the west, in the east. Life is sacred. The life of a Fulani, the life of an Hausa, Kenuri, Ibibio, Efik, Yoruba, Igbo, it doesn't matter. Our lives are sacred. But in the last couple of years, the lives is worthless. Sometimes I wish we can, if there is any way you can actually attribute, or rather, how do I put that? If there is any way we can, have maybe get the government, kill one Nigerian, and you pay like 200 million. Wallahi. It probably would, you will make them to sit up. But hey, in a nation where you argue that, we only lost 48, not 100, or we only lost 100, not 110, that as Dr. Nanda Azikiwe was said to purportedly have been said that a broken bottle has no mequatarism. On that note, I will say thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I don't want to make it much longer than necessary. But we keep, looking at the things that happen and we keep analyzing it. That's what we can do. That's what we are doing. We must keep sensitizing ourselves and to see how best we can make sense out of the senselessness that is happening. On that note, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please, by all means, do. I remain Maazi Ezeoke. If you have subscribed to this channel, you can like this video by just clicking on the like button. And if you want to share with others, you can also share this video with others. Now, I will say to you, have a wonderful weekend. It's Friday. Again, be mindful, coronavirus is still here. Keep social distancing. Stop poking your hands everywhere after touching some surfaces. You understand? So my prayer is that we will be alive and we will have a very fantastic Christmas. Before then, I'm still here. We are here. We will meet again next week. Thank you very much, everyone. And thank you for joining me once more this evening. On that note, I will say, remain blessed and have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you and bye.